Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Team Fortress TV. Apologies for the short break. We just saw Reason Gaming play against nerdRage on CP Granary Pro, if you have just joined us, and the score was 3-0 to Reason Gaming. A very slow, methodical match. Me and gecks casting with DavidTheWin on camera. They're about to go live again with the second match, which is Badlands. We're just going to talk through some stats because we got them working on the stream, and we're going to have a look at them just before they go live. And we're all familiar with Badlands, gecks. We all know how it's going to go down, and they can't quite slow the game down this much as well, can they?
No, not at all. These are going to be, I mean, these mids very, very hectic here. You know, it's going to be a lot tougher for Reason, I think, to maybe dictate like they did in that last game. It's a much more close quarters map. Things are going to happen quickly here. It's going to be tight, but it should make for some really interesting gameplay. Sideshow, you know, I'm pumped to see this one. Of course, Reason ran the show over on Granary Pro, but maybe it'll be a different story here. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm having a look at the head-to-head of the teams here, and oh, hello. We've got some dodgy, weird TLR versus nerdRage for some odd reason. Let me let me fix that. nerdRage versus Reason Gaming is what we want, but for some reason it doesn't want to play nicely, and it's not opening up for me. Let's have a look here. Let me see if I can get it to fix.
Oh, these darn stats are.
They're giving me a runaround once again. Alright, let's see if we can get this going. Open the report, please, for the love of God. We had them working when we went live, and then as soon as we go live, they bust themselves again. Okay, maybe we can do it. Maybe. Believe in yourselves. Believe in yourselves.
Fingers crossed. I'm praying to the stat gods here. Will they come through, or leave me with sad disappointment?
I'm being left with a lot of sad disappointment here. For some reason, they don't feel like they want to work. Let's see. No, it's dead. Never mind. Rest
the dream
in
is
peace.
Dead, boys.
The dream is dead. We tried, we failed. Probably my fault, but never mind. We'll progress either way. So, the pickup of Shocky instead of Kyla seems to be a fairly decent one. Reason playing fairly decently in that last game. The scout's not a problem at all. Shocky just fitting into that his place in the team, absolutely no problemo. Reason playing that kind of really death ball TF2 where they have almost 4 or 5 people in the combo at all times and trying to push forward. nerdRage might be able to abuse the flank a little bit. Certainly if they have Stark back for the playoffs, he will be abusing the flank against this team to no end. That's his game plan down to a T, I'm sure. But in terms of how it's working against nerdRage here, they really seem to be outclassing them a little bit, Hex.
Yeah, indeed they do. And, you know, Shocky for the most part seems to be fitting and fine here. Of course, you know, his DPM and stats weren't absolutely stellar or anything. They weren't terrible either. I mean, his DPM was a bit low, but he was still an impactful player in the last game. But it really, like you said, Reason is just kind of outclassing them here. At least they did on Badlands. That's the map we're going to. On Granary Pro, they were outclassing them a bit. So I don't know. Maybe in the change of types of maps here, it'll be a little bit better for nerdRage. I don't know. There's certainly some things that I'm sure they were going over during the break that they need to fix going into this map, and hopefully they addressed some things and give themselves a better opportunity here. But you still got to give the edge, I think, to Reason just a bit. They're playing quite well here today.
Absolutely. I think in terms of the playoffs as well, I'm just having a look at the ETF2L Season 21 powered by TT Esports Premiership table, and at the moment we've got TLR sat up there with 37 points. That means if nerdRage... that means that even if nerdRage take all 3 points from this map, TLR will still be sat at the top of the table. So they are not even going to have to participate against the third place team, which is going to be probably Reason. If nerdRage can manage to squeeze a single point out of this last map, it will be Reason sitting pretty on that third place spot, and they'll have an uphill battle to claim the Season 21 title, but they're looking pretty good for it. In terms of the most progressed team, they got to be up there. The changes they made to their roster really helped them, and the fact that Shockey's come on as well instead of Kyler, who some pegged for a little bit of underperforming or not quite meshing with the team, but I think in terms of the playoffs we've got some tasty, juicy action, but this map is really determining who finishes second or third before the playoffs. If Reason manage to get all 3 points here, they are going to be tied for second and third place with nerdRage. nerdRage just need a single point. It's our first mid, Gex. Let's see what happens.
Let's take you into it. Looks like nerdRage working up towards that right side. On their right side, Zebbosai is going to go down. Rib was actually able to get kaidus, so that is a big pick for nerdRage here. But here comes Mike. He's bombing up onto Bull, able to find him there. And there's only 2 players up from nerdRage, just Rib and Flippy. And a disaster of a mid there from nerdRage. Started off decent, got that kaidus pick, but Nox able to stay alive here. Going to have an uncontested Uber advantage.
He is indeed. He's going to be able to move forward with that all the way to last. And in terms of that mid-fight, Reason just looking really dominant. They're able to soak up aggression like no other team I've seen. They're able to take these bad situations and just play together in a blob and make sure that each one of them covers the other's weaknesses to an incredibly good degree. Zebbosai is now going to be jumping onto the spy, but Captain's gone really deep, taking down Flippy. There's the return frag though, that's a pocket down for Reason, and they're really not playing very aggressively with this Ubercharge advantage here. I'm puzzled, Gex.
Yeah, I know, and I mean, they got Flippy too. That was kind of their real threat at that point, that he was sitting all the way back, potential to get Nox, but he's down now. Finally, Reason's moving themselves forward. And they're going to be over towards that spy right now. Rib's actually going to go down. They use the Uber, though. Nox, did they have guys back on mid, but they managed to get this second point cap. Tech may fall here as well, but managing to stay alive. Actually going for the equalizer onto Hafficool inside a lobby, but he picked up that frag there, and there's only 3 players up from nerdRage right now. Bull's going to have to try and sacrifice himself for the point, but there's just too many guys on the side of Reason there, and they take an early 1-0 lead here.
Yeah, I don't know whether you realize, but nerdRage actually sacked 2 players behind to try and get onto the back cap. I think they were banking on the fact that they'd be able to block that second point, but I feel like nerdRage really should have just been content that they managed to delay Reason for so long that they almost had their own Ubercharge up. Either way, their Reason playing it a little bit better than their counterparts. They're getting in onto Rib now, though, and Rib's going to be the first death here. Zebbosai getting a bit of a shot on, but he's going to be so weak there, Captain, with all of the heals, just able to tank that damage and move forward. And there are 3 players left alive from nerdRage. One of them the medic, so it's not looking too bad, but they're going to get chased out. Oh, everybody jumping in here, getting onto Pool. kaidus picks up that frag. That was so aggressive there from Reason Gaming. 3 players jumping around at choke point, both of the scouts streaming forwards, and we've seen such a change of pace just at the flick of the fingers here. As soon as Nox decides to call it, this team just transitions from super passive to super aggressive without a moment to spare.
Ah, man, that's just, it's crazy. It's well coordinated from Reason right now, and they have a couple of frags on this last point. They're actually, okay, now they're starting to come through. It's actually a 3-on-3 fight right now, though. Nox is in behind the point. Nobody else is there. nerdRage kited the Uber really well, and there were stickies all over the point, and Rib just wouldn't budge on deading those sticks, and they somehow managed to hold that one off despite being down a full Uber. And now Bull's going to be able to come out with the rest of his team here. kaidus going down at the tail end of that, but they're going to be able to get back out onto the second point. They have some big advantage here, too.
Yeah, they're going to be going forwards. Mike is really Mike is really deep behind them. He's going to be onto that spire, though. He's going to get taken down. He was dueling there with Flippy. I wondered if he could get anything done, but that's kaidus and Mike both down now. kaidus just getting his spawn. Zebbosai is going to make a little bit of room for his team. Distractomize at the shithouse area. kaidus is going to... Captain, sorry, going to be the first casualty. Too many people on this team, beginning with K for my liking, to be perfectly honest here. But Shockey's going to be another casualty, just losing 1 player at a time here, Reason. They are actually getting the spawners at roughly the same rate, though, so it's not like they're bleeding players, and it's going to cost them too badly. Nox is going to have his Ubercharge up in a few seconds, but there goes Mike as well, and nerdRage here might be building up a little bit of momentum.
Indeed, they have an opportunity for a coast-to-coast push right here. They are going to be, both teams actually have the full Uber here. Zebbosai is going to go down, but he actually was able to trade with Shocky there, so that's the reason they were down 2. They just got a spawn here. We'll see what nerdRage wants to do with this one. They're actually going to pop it through onto Flippy, see if he can work something. Nox still hasn't popped yet, got close to dropping, but did get that Uber off. They're actually going to put a good bit of time down onto the point, but they just kind of sent Flippy in, got that cap time, and now they've backed themselves up a bit, and they're going to be waiting up inside of the lobby here, so no real push yet. Reason looking maybe to push back in here, but Rib very hurt as well, needs to be careful. And it looks like nerdRage gonna back up here.
Yeah, nerdRage are going to take a much more solid position. They've actually got Flippy on the sniper as well, so they really want Reason to try and poke out onto that battlements, onto the main, the drop down, anywhere where Flippy can get a sniper angle and really cement their position, possibly give them a pick to push into last with. So I like this off-class decision, running Flippy on the sniper. He is, of course, one of the best snipers, if not the best sniper in EU, if not the world. He's just a fantastic, fantastic sniper. But in trying to get some position for him, they've actually dropped their pocket there. So down goes Tech. An instant reply, though. The first player to peek gets domed within a split second there. Mike destroyed, and that's going to force Reason back to their last. nerdRage going to take advantage of some of this positioning by moving forwards, and this now just becomes a matter of getting Flippy in a position where he can get a pick that allows the last point to be opened up. Oh, Hafficool on Spy as well. He's actually pushing out with it.
Oh boy, let's see if he's able to do anything. There's a couple sticks dangerously close here. I'm not sure if... No, he hasn't been spotted yet. He's just hanging out down at the... down at main right now, but he's just gonna wait it out here, wait for a good opportunity. Yeah, he just got spotted out by Nookie there. He's gonna go down. Will that cue anything from nerdRage? Looks like they want to take this in top right. Actually, Zebbosai is in. Tech's gonna get himself in here as well. Still haven't popped the Uber off yet. Neither team, actually neither of them had anything, excuse me, and they're just kind of poking around and not finding much of anything here. So we're still just kind of chilling out here.
Yeah, Flippy's still running that sniper though, and that gives him so much utility to be able to either defend Spire. If they want to drop back, he can defend it all the way from choke, or he can try and get a pick in main or top. Or it's just a great off-class for pushing last. What it does do, though, is slow down the game a little bit, and Reason aren't too bothered about that. They're happy, they're content to play at this kind of pace. nerdRage, though, can't be given too much room here. Reason have to be a little proactive and try and prod out, deny them a bit of position. That's what Mike's going to do now in main. They're just going to keep rotating around, see if they can deny Flippy and possibly run some kind of pick of their own. They tried Hafficool on Spy before, didn't quite work out for them, and maybe they'll be running something different, or just try and punish somebody in a particular area. Looks like we're going to be rotating the two soldiers down to the bottom left, and double spam takes down Hafficool. Might take down kaidus as well. No, kaidus gets out of there on 45 health, but that's opened things up on that bottom right hand side. Bull's able to get in without popping off his Uber charge whatsoever. The Uber's popped. Mike dropped from Nox as well. Appalling Uber from Nox, and this is looking great here for nerdRage, sorry, if they can get some position in the after Uber. Nox goes down as well. This is surely a round for nerdRage. There we go, 1-1 the scoreline, and that's literally the first round there for nerdRage all night.
Yeah, indeed it is, but I'm sure that one feels good for them. Get themselves back on the board here, tie things up, and we'll see who retains, or if they retain some momentum here moving forward. They had a good play there on that last to tie this game up, so we'll see how they take this mid. They've gone towards shithouse for most of them, but it looks like they're just going to come straight out of the main house here. Nookie battling it out with Mike, and Nookie's just actually going to get behind them here. Rib just pushing across, got Hafficool. He's going for some more here, but Reason already just getting kind of bullied out of the mid. Captain still behind, Shocky's behind as well, but their health is nothing to write home about, and Bull is quite hurt as well. Actually got an Excellent surf. Captain comes back in to find him, though, and they're still battling this mid out. Kaidus is under the point. Very hurt. Tech goes down, too. Somehow, Reason coming out on top of this, but Zebbosai destroying a couple people of his own. Kaidus and Captain going down, and he's going to search for a scout pick here as well, but
he jumped over the top of Hafficool, and he's made so much room for Flippy to come in as well. They're going to team up, but Hafficool actually wins that 1v1 or 1v2. However you want to look at that, Shocky came in from behind and picked off Zebbosai as well. What a crazy mid-fight, Gex.
Whew. Man, that was nuts. It's just back and forth the whole mid here, and it's still going on. They're still fighting out this midpoint, and Bull's back up here with Tech, but I don't know if nerdRage really has players with them right now. It's just Tech and Bull, really, that are in the mid, so they're going to have to back up, and Reason, after quite a while, will come out on top of that one.
Yeah, they will. Nox is thrown out, and I'm fully charged, which doesn't fool anybody. He's only on 40%, around the same amount as Bull. They've got Flippy on that utility class as well. He's running the sniper all the way back in battlements. Such a passive position there for the nerdRage squad. Let's have a listen to their comms and see how they want to defend this.
I heard something. Solizop was on the pillar.
Earlier was choke.
We push choke.
Resub looks clear.
I'm gonna play
Go
against
choke,
Yeah,
go
we can
choke.
take
Let's
choke.
go choke, go choke.
Yeah, we can snipe from
Snipe
choke.
with Flippy.
Go and close chapter.
I'm coming, Nucky.
Can you
Are
watch Resub now, Nuki? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Stick on choke.
Be ready for Mike jumping.
Yeah, exactly.
Tech, you gotta be ready for him. I'll watch us.
That was an archer,
Jumping
you can snipe him.
Yeah. Solly's on balcony now.
I'm on
Reason.
choke.
I'm holding far back.
I have no buff, I'm holding passive on Reason.
I'm
for
holding
jump,
far back,
ready for
take
jump.
jump.
What's allowed to can do it 12.
We'll stick his house.
Siki's on the toxic.
Solo
One in.
Slow down.
Nice.
11 in.
I'm
Yeah,
holding
go
really
for the
passive
kit.
on Reason.
So jumped in. I jumped up. I took a lap.
Push
Yeah.
Take a slow.
Push now, guys. Push with this.
I'm pushing with Arlene now.
Jay Uber.
Okay, let's go.
Stick us on the
Good
barrel.
done.
Nice.
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 Go, go,
Pushing in
go.
now.
Scan
Get
on.
the
Solar
face.
50, Solar 50.
To can red. Solar very
We
weak.
jump to medic.
Yes,
They
I
use.
I need help on the
Shift take.
fast,
Down
under,
coming. Scan is
under.
weak.
Is
Solo still choke, solo still choke.
I need
They're
three
out with
fast.
medic. They're out with medic.
Oh,
Spike
back
up.
up. I'm going back.
Get backward, get backward. Get him.
He's
Getting drawn all the way back there by a backcap, but that was such a nice play by nerdRage, Gex.
Oh my god, the chain of events there was incredible. Bull risked that Uber so hard. Got knocked down to about 20 health. He goes for another surf. He surely is going to get killed here. He's battling it out a little bit inside of the house, but he does go down. That was a really crazy chain of events on that last one. Bull risked dropping that Uber down to 20 health. Mike was right above him, just couldn't quite find the frag, and then great shot from Flippy to get Kaidus. Sadly, for nerdRage at least, Hafficool kind of came in on the backside and delayed their push. Had that not happened, they surely would have been able to just run straight back into mid there, but we do see a reset, at least, off of that play from Hafficool there, and Bull actually went down, so that gives Nox some pretty hefty advantage right here, and it looks like they're moving in through the flank.
Tasty Uber advantage to work with here, 80%, but slowly ticking down. The Uber's actually forced really early there from Nox. A little bit afraid of Zebbosai perhaps, but this is going to be a really bad Uber here from Reason Gaming. They're going to probably try and push it in anyway and just work off the momentum, the fact that Bull doesn't have his Uber charge, but nerdRage really should be expecting this. It looks like they're moving over to that upper lobby and they're just going to try a dry push straight into Last Captain, moving forward. Going to be able to get onto Nuki and Zebbosai on that top hand side, but the spam coming in from Flippy on Pyro and Rib with the loose cannon as well is just going to do so much damage to these Reason players.
Yeah, and they have to back up now. Captain's down, Hafficool's down, so they're backing out here. And I've seen this a few times today from Nox, where he seems to be popping. I've seen it probably about 3 times now, where he's popped Ubers really, really early. Maybe times where he didn't need to. Kind of like right there. I don't know. I mean, maybe afraid of Zebbosai, but I felt like it wasn't necessary that he popped it off here. But I mean, he's one of the best in the world, so I trust his judgment. But regardless, that's going to leave him with 100% Uber right now, and this should leave some room for Reason to come in here. I mean, Bull is only at 20% here, so we're going to see a push any second coming in from them. They're all getting grouped up inside of the lobby here, ready to go. Buffs are out, and he'll be pushing here in just a second. Looks like they want to send Hafficool in. He will lead the charge here, bringing in Captain as well. Still haven't found any frags yet. Flippy denying much of that there. Nookie's going to go down, though. Shocky will get exchanged out there. Both teams down one player here. So far, Reason not doing too much with this one. Rib goes down, though, but Captain's going to fall as well. And they actually just pressure the point, and nobody from nerdRage does anything about it. So that will be 2-1 for Reason.
Yeah, the whole game plan there from Reason was just to take control of one of the sides and then get a pick on Rib, who was playing really quite aggressively, perhaps too aggressively for a Demoman on Badlands last. And as soon as they got the pick on Rib, they just flooded on that point. 2-1 the scoreline in favor of Reason. Zebbosai coming up with a really aggressive bomb, but Mike's going to make him pay for that. And Nookie, both of their flank players incredibly weak here in nerdRage. And this is looking like a mid for Reason already. Tech and Bull having to scurry out of there, but Bull only on 20 health, going to be regening that fairly quickly. But kaidus with a phenomenal surf. Oh my word, what a jump! And then the pipe onto Tech. Oh my god, what was that, Gex? He surfs off Launchpad, stickies off Bull, and then pipes Tech. Unbelievable stuff.
God. That was incredible, man. What a play. I don't even know what else to say about that. That was unbelievable. And look at this, Reason pushing into last right now. nerdRage getting their spawns back up. They had to use the Uber, Reason did, but they're pressuring this point. Can they find any frags? 2 players down. Each side, Bull goes down as well. kaidus is in behind the point, and there it is. Hafficool comes in, gets Zebbosai, and they take that round there. Quick one, 3-1, mostly off of that play from kaidus right there, which was unbelievable.
Absolutely fantastic. What a showcase of talent. Let's have a listen to their comms on this mid, see if they're hyped.
I'm going to again.
Okay. I'm gonna go like under left side, I think.
Okay.
Wing Valley.
Someone's back.
Wing Valley, Captain.
Yeah.
Full
jump.
I'm tagged.
Sorry, jump on kaidus.
I'm dead.
kaidus dead care. On me,
I'm
low.
Valley, Valley, Valley.
Nice.
We're
Close,
out
close,
now.
close, balcony.
Yeah, we're out of here.
Yeah, we're leaving.
We are
Get into
leaving.
position.
Out, Happy out.
Yeah, we're out of position. Just leave. Okay, everyone's fire. Take it. Come, left crash.
Spawning in 7.
Take a full buff.
Oh,
Coming
they're
now, they're all coming now.
Shit.
Demo is close, pick him.
Them took rocket, he's 180 still.
Got behind you, trash.
The behind me. Yeah. I'm ready low, I'm backing.
He's down,
Nice,
nice.
Nice. I'm with you, Nox.
Okay, let's push on them now, pitch down. We're
Going main, boys.
Oh, I'm so weak.
coming to you.
Shield 100, nice.
Nice.
Fully house.
Pick him, you buff. Go.
I'm rushing house
No,
now.
he's on point, he's on point.
Our train
On
here.
point, let's go.
Watch your sticks in choke. No.
No,
Some
Demo is
HP.
close.
Blown.
They want us straight.
Okay, solid.
Fully here.
Demo is denied.
They use
He was
Come to me,
Trash
come to me,
Reaper,
come.
garbage Reaper.
Stay,
No,
stay.
soldier high.
I just a brain.
With
Go
you,
back in.
with you.
Maybe we can get
Chase
him.
them, you can.
Let's have Valley, took 2 seconds.
Don't overextend, Care, don't overextend.
Nice call.
I'm down.
Just on the point's fine.
Just Nox is just controlling these guys so much, and his calls are just phenomenal. nerdRage actually going to want to go back in on this. The aggression a little bit delayed, but now they're going to flood in. Only 3 players left alive. The pure raw DM here from nerdRage might actually make it work out in their favor. Rib, the only one left alive though to deal with Mike and with Nox, and just the calls coming out from Nox, they give you an insight into how well he understands the game. Just the instant call to have everybody around Spire there when they were trying to defend it and commit nobody to the flank and just really focus on that Spire defense that worked out perfectly for them. And then the Uber charge, trades and everything. Mike going deep for a pick on Bull as well. It's just, this is a masterclass of TF2, Gex.
It really is, man. This is a very exciting map to watch. 3-1 scoreline. Even though the score isn't incredibly close, you're just seeing some amazing plays from both teams right now. And to get an insight to that mastermind of Nox there controlling the troops is also great to hear. I mean, he's got these guys rounded up together, and he's going to round them up once more for this push, as they do have the full Uber ready to go here. They're going to pop it in on this left side, sending Hafficool through. But nerdRage is going to kite it off onto the other side here, and they're going to have basically the same battle that they had on the last point here just a while ago. But Reason actually just getting crushed on this one here. Captain's behind the point, but he's going to fall as well here in just a second, and a great defense from nerdRage sets themselves up to come back towards this back towards Spire here.
Yeah, and something that Reason are doing throughout the game, which is benefiting them, really crippling them a little bit on their last pushes, which is that they like to bunch up together and really play the same side of the map. So when they push into last, nerdRage are just rotating around them, rotating onto a top right-hand side, rotating into main if they try and play behind the point, etc. They're just kind of maneuvering their way around, mirroring where Reason are going and playing around the opposite side of the last point so that Reason can't put down as much damage on them, can't use their Uber into an effective bunch of them, can't sandwich them together. And it's a clever play by nerdRage. They just need to apply it to the rest of the map as well, abuse those flanks a little more. But they're going to Uber in now. Tech in so deep, it's actually going to get cleaned up there. Doesn't manage to get onto Nox, only one rocket, and they've sacrificed so many players here to try and get onto them. Bull's kind of stuck in, and Mike's going to absolutely drop the hammer there. Bull goes down, Rib on 19 health, and it's a car crash of an Uber charge from nerdRage.
Oh, and Reason's looking really, really good here. I mean, nerdRage kited it last time, but can they do it again? That's the thing. It's going to be almost an identical situation here. If they move quick enough, Bull may not even be... Well, now he's going to get a spawn right now, but they also have Flippy up on Sniper. nerdRage does. He'll be forced off of that one quick, but they take it straight in on that bottom right side, pop it off, and they've already gotten Zebbosai out of the equation, but Mike is down as well. Flippy goes down on the backside of the point. Now they're going to have to try and get test. This Rib goes down. They flood straight onto the point. There it is. That will be 4-1 for Reason.
Yeah, it's starting to get more and more difficult for nerdRage to get back into this. They've taken a really dominating lead now, 3 points in the lead. nerdRage have got a task on their hands. Let's have a listen to their comms, see if they're dejected or whether they've re-inspired with passion.
Buffing taken, I'm on Europe.
Domestic
okay.
Call when you detect, I'll follow you.
I'm jumping.
Yeah, solid on train.
Let's
Magic is on the valley. They have no else on the point.
Can you arrow me, Bull?
I'm walking shit out.
Solid.
They're on scout.
Solid tag.
Solid house. Down.
Fuck off. 10 HP solid.
Yep.
They do sound a little bit dejected, Gex.
Yep. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I mean, it's tough. They're especially just getting destroyed on that mid. They've lost a few rounds in a row here. I've only been able to pick up 1 round on the day. It's certainly not what they were expecting coming into this match. Not how they've wanted to play, I'm sure. I mean, it's not over yet, but the fat lady's warming up her voice, man, and Nox is about to come in with, once again, a full advantage to take the rest of his team with. So as they pop it off onto this point here, oh, Captain's gonna get denied though off of a rocket and maybe able to pick up Zebbosai here. Nookie and Zebbosai both down. That's looking decent for Reason here, but they haven't really, they're not fully committed. No, Captain isn't on the backside, gonna rock Bull here, but nerdRage hanging on just by a thread, but Tech is the only guy up. They get onto the point, and that will make it a 5-1 game now for Reason, and things are looking quite dire for nerdRage.
Yeah, absolutely. This is dire straits here for nerdRage. They need to get back into this. They'll be feeling really hard done by that. They had to go into this with a Merc as well. Stark does so much for them on the flank, but hopefully that will be the situation in playoffs as well. This is just a little bit of a warm-up. I guess they have to try and remember that, but for Reason, it fills them with so much confidence as well. Rib going down right at the beginning of this mid-fight, and the combo just absolutely getting rocked here. Tech and Zebbosai denied it so hard, but Nox gone down actually. Flippy just choosing to completely abandon his team and go instead for the enemy medic, which worked out perfectly for them, actually. The correct decision, really, because otherwise they were stuffed. So Nox is going to go down there. Only 7 minutes remaining, though, and nerdRage have to step something up. Shocky taking the spy, and it's not just to switch forward spawn. He is actually just going to be running that, so we'll see what he ends up deciding to do. nerdRage deciding to run just their normal classes, and Nookie went sniper to try and defend the spire a little bit, but that didn't work out, and Shocky's making his way into lower lobby, Gex.
Let's see if he can make the play. He hasn't really been too successful at much of anything on spy throughout the day today, but he's going to try and make it work. They're trying to bait them back out onto second here, but Nookie just got the spawn. That's so unfortunate for Shocky. He's going to get taken out, and it was the right idea from Reason, just couldn't quite execute it. It was a shame that Nookie got that spawn, at least for Reason's sake, but on the side of nerdRage here, they're going to be able to move back through. They have 2 picks. They've already started to work their way into the choke Nox does have some advantage here, just coming up on this Uber right now, and they will try and fight this one. Mike is just getting juggled in the air, though. Rib did get captain with his sticks, but Rib eventually goes down to Shocky here. Reason at least keeping nerdRage out of the mid, but they'll have an Uber right now to push back in with.
Yeah, they're coming in with the Uber charge now. Flippy and Tech leading that one forward, but they've managed to drop 2 players on the flank. There goes Zebbosai as well. Hafficool and Shocky are absolutely making mincemeat of their flank at the same time as Tech and Bull are focusing forward. And this is just a collapse here from nerdRage. They're not playing with any cohesion. They're just getting picked apart here by a team with so much more synergy and so much more teamwork on the night. This is just such a dominating performance by Reason. They're probably still just gonna be tied for 3rd place here as they move into the playoffs, but they've got to be one of the strongest contenders moving forwards. They just had a bad beginning to the season. Nuki is going to be running sniper in that resup area, trying to get a cheeky frag onto somebody, but it's not looking good. They have to defend here. This is on the cusp of being 6-1 gecks. They cannot allow this to happen, nerdRage. They got to maintain some dignity.
That Uber is going to get popped in from Reason. They take it up our left. Flippy just about to go down here. Oh my goodness, they just get destroyed on that last there. That will cue the GGs in the chat, and that gives Reason the win on Badlands. 6-1, a 2-0 night for them. Reason taking it. Very dominating performance from them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Great stuff there by Reason Gaming, taking that 6-1. Let's have a look at some logs before we go over to grabbing some players in as well. But just fantastic performance from Reason Gaming. I don't think anybody really expected them to take it with such a big round advantage.
Yeah, you know what happened with nerdRage there? They just Reason looked really coordinated and collected there, and good showing from them. And if there are logs, I'm not aware of them. I don't know if you have a link, Sideshow, or midst of getting that at the moment. I'm not sure. Apparently DavidTheWin is I think he said he had him up on stream, but I can't. Hey, is that there? It is. Man came through, so we do have some logs here to look at, and I'm not sure if we lost Sideshow or not. You still with us? We may have lost him.
I am indeed.
Oh, no.
Things are happening. People are moving in and out. It's chaos in here, Gex. But we'll have a look at some logs and see who stands out. Shocky doing incredibly well there. Have a look at that.
Yeah, he really showed up there on that game. 247 DPM, 21 and 11. There he was just near the top. He was second to top frag. Hafficool had the most on Scout, but that Scout duo from Reason really showing up in that last game there, and things looking much better on that map for Shocky than it did in the first. Not, like I said, not that he did bad on the first map, but it just performed much better on this second one, and just by looking at these stats, triple the deaths also on the side of Bull compared to what Nox had.
And look at how Flippy. It's all the players that are surrounding Bull that seem to have really sucked out there. The combo just getting crushed by the flank, but also by this death ball from Reason. So Reason's scouts both playing with quite a lot of heals, but just look at the KD here. It's 23 for 10 on Hafficool, 21 for 11 on Shocky, and compare that to the scouts from nerdRage as well. And Flippy's gone 5 for 20, and as you say. And he's the pocket scout, and he's supposed to be, defending Rib, defending Bull, and these people just have way too many deaths. I mean, Bull with 15 deaths is, it was a win difference game, 6-1, but even so, 15 deaths in 25 minutes is a lot when you compare that to the fact that Nox only had 5. They just weren't able to touch Nox whatsoever.
Yeah, they had such a tight pocket around him the whole game, and that pocket was playing just incredibly well, especially on a Badlands too. I mean, even though nerdRage got one round on that map, overall I feel like that was just such a crushing performance from Reason on Badlands. There really played well, and just such a tight grip on Nox there, and just didn't let him die. And look at that, 5 deaths. Really kept him up, and that allowed him to get 7 more Ubers than Bull did. So, I think that just kind of goes to show how Reason played today.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has got to be to do with the middles as well. Reason picking up the vast majority of those mid fights and really Bull dying on almost all of them. He is committing to the mid fights because he wants to give his team the heals in order to win. But when things are going south, Reason were just making it happen completely. They would get Bull down on almost every time, and the reply onto Nox was very, very rare. We saw it once at the end there from Flippy. I think we saw it on one or maybe two of the other mid fights, but nerdRage only picking up 2 of the mids out of a possible 7 here on this map is just, it's not good enough if they want to be able to take the map. The mid fight is so important that it needs to be something they're working on, because their last defenses really weren't that much of a problem, but the fact that they're constantly on the back foot due to losing all of these mid fights is really hurting them, and they weren't able to get back in the game from the early loss of, once it started going to about 3-1, it just seemed like it was going further and further down there for nerdRage.
Yeah, it just started to snowball at that point, really, and you didn't really see them clawing back into it, so to speak. So it's a tough game. Definitely some room and some things to go back to the drawing board with for nerdRage, and work on some of these things that maybe they had troubles with, like the mids and all that. But it's a learning experience for them, of course, and it'll give them an opportunity to work on some.
It definitely will, yeah, and they do have the playoffs. Sure. They have the playoffs coming up on Sunday. This Sunday, the 12th, is the playoffs between the second and third place team are essentially both tied, so it's going to be a rematch of this. It's going to be nerdRage against Reason Gaming for the honor to challenge TLR in the grand final of ETF2L. But let's grab some players for interviews, see how they feel about the playoffs, see how they feel about that game and I-55 moving forwards. It's an incredibly tense time for TF2 in total, and these guys have really got to step it up. Let's have a listen to Zebbosai, as he's the first one to join us. What do you think about the game? What happened there? What went wrong for you guys?
We had a discussion afterwards after both maps, and I on the flank felt it was just leadership. Like we weren't vocal enough in general, and obviously our mids were pretty dire, especially on Badlands, and they have been. We just haven't figured out how to fix them.
We are joined as well by Mikey AAA and kaidus as well, so that's the Roma and Demoman for Reason Gaming, who really came into that match and absolutely stomped it. We weren't expecting you to do so well, Mike, but you managed to blow us away and blow nerdRage out of the water. Do you think a lot of that was the mercs that were being used, or do you think there's more to it? Are you just the superior team?
I think blow them out the sky is a better euphemism, but also yeah, like I think Stark is a lot better than, like, no offense to Nuki, but like Stark is just one of the best player maybe on nerdRage's team, and he makes a huge difference. I think not just by obviously being a great scout, but his comms as well. I think he contributes a lot in the same way that Banny would on Froyotech from the flank. So yeah, I think they were missing that a lot. Like, they seem to fall apart on Badlands. I don't think they would have fallen apart like that if they had Stark with them. So I think, yeah, that made a big difference, not having Stark tonight.
Do you think it was you guys stepping up as well? Do you feel like you had a good performance, or is this the kind of level that we're to expect from you now, kaidus?
Yeah, I'd say this is the level we're trying to hit. Anything we can probably aim higher than this. With the result, the score is very nice, but like Mike said, if they had Stark, they wouldn't have crumbled so much on Badlands. Probably would have been a bit more like Granary, maybe, in terms of the scoreline. So we have to keep aiming higher, I think.
Sounds like you guys are staying quite level-headed about the whole thing, and just is the fact that you're moving into playoffs in just a matter of days weighing on your mind as well? You have to keep your thoughts guarded and make sure that you don't get ahead of yourselves, underestimate your opponents.
Well, no, like I said, I expect stronger nerdRage on Sunday. Stark I assume Stark's going to be there. He's a big player for them. He's probably their best player. I don't know, when everyone's kind of hitting their peak, Stark is still the guy that stands out. So I don't know, we beat a team today, but we'll be playing against a different team on Sunday, I think.
Do you think that's how you're viewing it as well, Zebbosai? Do you think it's going to be a whole different story on Sunday in the playoffs? You guys are going to come back and just smash these noobs?
I'm not sure that Stark is obviously very good, but I don't think he would do such an impact that it changed the result today. But perhaps on Sunday it'll go better for us.
So what really needs working on? Is it just a matter of communication? Is it something that you need to work out internally with your team on who's calling and who's having the responsibility for these decisions? When we moved over to the Reason comms compared to yours, it was very much a hierarchy with Nox at the top giving everybody the instructions, and sounds a little more cohesive than what's going on in nerdRage.
It was a bit odd today. I did any push or anything I did from Roamer, like the comms, and I couldn't see what was going on during the game. And I don't know. Bulle is our main caller, but perhaps I just took over today, or he didn't speak up. I don't know. But I think the leadership is a big issue.
And how are you going to combat that before Sunday? It's creeping up on you. You can't end up with a third place, surely, Zebbosai.
I don't know, man. I'll talk to my team when I'm done with this interview.
Keeping his cards close to his chest. He doesn't want to give things away. He doesn't want to give his... It's
not a decision I can do on my own. I have to talk to my team.
Of course. And do you guys feel like all of this is just a warm-up for I-55 anyway, or are you really gunning for it? Is this the playoffs to end it all, or is this all just merely a warm-up?
We're taking this seriously, we want to win, but at the same time it's a pretty good warm-up 555, so even if we're just focusing on winning this first and then 955, and it's probably the best warm-up we can get in a way, but we don't think of it as a warm-up.
Of course, and Hafficool as well, playing incredibly well in that last match, alongside, and I'm sorry to instantly steal the attention away from you, Haffy, alongside Shocky. We'll knock this question over to Haffy then. Of all the scouts that you've been playing alongside, do you think Shocky's a pretty good one?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Hasn't played Prem for a long time and just destroyed everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys... can we confirm then that you guys have lost Kyler for good, for I-55, for the playoffs, etc.?
Well, Kyler said, the thing is, I wouldn't completely put it out, or not predict that Heist would deny us some mercs. So Kyler's yeah, it's cool, I can finish the season with you. If you need me, I can play all the playoffs. So we've always got him as the backup, but he's just... I don't know why, it was quite strange, but I didn't blame him that he just didn't want to go to I-55, the hassle fights is very expensive for him, and also he's Portuguese and poor, so it doesn't help. But so yeah, he's available for the playoffs, but we're gonna replace him. We're gonna get a replacement pretty soon.
Do you hear these guys, Zebbosai? They're making plans for Heist allowing or disallowing mercs. They're supremely confident. They don't even think you're going to pose a blip in their path.
Well, I just, Zebbosai already allowed us a merc tonight, so I'm just assuming he's going to allow Shocky.
Yeah.
After this, no fucking way. No, we'd allow Shocky, we don't care. And I think TLR will allow him too.
In terms of I-55 then, Kyler has ruled himself out for that. Are you on the lookout for a scout, or is Shocky now confirmed as the player that you're going to be playing with there?
Well, I can't really say, but pretty soon we'll have our last scout.
You're keeping us on the line here. You're just teasing us, playing with us.
You should go check Real Talk if you want to find out who our sixth will be.
Real Talk, the place where all the leaks happen and all the realist talk occurs.
All the juicy gossip.
Absolutely, the place is just full of rubbish 90% of the time. You have to kind of sift through it. It's like a trash bin that you might eventually find a gold ring in or something. It's an odd sight indeed, but I love it. I think it's really interesting. Just on the kind of vein of that, of asking your opinions on things in the scene recently, what do you guys think about the ETF2L decision to ban the mediguns? Have you played with it? I assume you have in scrims and things like that. What do you think about the whole idea from Valve as well?
we were pretty grateful. Nox is struggling to master the binding of the pickup command. So, it worked out pretty well for us, I think.
And then when he figured out we could do it, he like refused to do.
I think Mike time.
Good night, Mike.
It on principle, claiming it was like really shit.
What? So he just refused to pick up the mediguns even when he had an opportunity.
There was a full Uber medigun on our last, and he just wouldn't pick it up because he said it's like a really shit feature.
Okay, well that takes a biscuit. In terms of your opinions, though, not Nox, do you think it's a good addition to the game in general? Whether or not you actually have to play with it for the playoffs, do you think it's something that the game benefits from, this extra layer, or do you think it detracts from the meta?
I think right now, in its current state, it's not very good. I'm open to the idea, like adding a little bit more depth to the game, but right now, like, it's not really good in its current state. Like, the Uber needs to either just have a percentage taken off when it's dropped, like 30% of the Uber's gone, or it needs to decay over time, or something like this. Because at the moment, it kind of just rules out a lot of like aspects of the games that are good. Like, if you kill a medic on his last, he just spawns like and picks it up. Like, you suicide 2 guys, you can't really push like off the back of that suicide before he spawns. So like that Uber should decay, you know. So like he spawns, picks it up, but then he has to build 20% of it still. So you have a window to push, you know. But there's still like a bit more depth to that situation. But right now it's weird.
Yeah, like drops don't mean as much, but wouldn't if the rule wasn't in place. And like Kaidus said, like if there was some sort of decay on the Uber, like that would be quite interesting, I think. But I'd probably like a bit faster than like losing only 20% if you're on your last still. But yeah, like they'd need to nerf that with the medigun, definitely.
Do you think if this kind of stuff, if essentially Valve haven't changed it by the time I-55 rolls around and it doesn't look like they're going to change it, do you think this is something that we should be just playing with and trying to adapt to, or do you think it's time to just ban these things or have gentlemen's agreements or whatever the case may be and just kind of forge
Is there
our
like
own?
some fucking sort of chat show happening tonight where we could talk about this stuff, you fucking dribbler?
Oh god.
Of course, there's fully charged happening as well, but we're gonna drop. This is just a teaser, Admirable.
Fuck off.
Look
How about
where
you?
he comes. He jumps in to criticize and jumps out again. Absolutely, though, he's quite right. There is fully charged EU happening in just about. Is it just an hour's time or something like that? So let's.
Pretty sure it was 10 minutes ago it was meant to start.
Really? It was supposed to start 10 minutes ago.
Oh.
Oh well, fair enough then. Let's wrap up here. Any quick shout-outs before we go? Otherwise, we're gonna call it quits.
I have 2 things to say. One, Kaidus, that jump from choke, sliding up the ramp and killing the med, land the pipe too. That was sick. Just wanted to say that because that was one of the coolest things I saw tonight. But as for everything else, shout out to DavidTheWin for producing tonight and all you guys for watching. So that's all for me. Take it away, Sideshow.
Shout out to Bash and Kyler. Like, shame Kyler can't make it, and Bash is still around too, so that's cool. And also my team for not choking tonight.
Wow.
Wait.
Especially you, Happy.
Yeah, does this mean that you've essentially found who was choking in your team and ruled them out? You know, Captain Kaidus and Hafficool are safe. They were never the chokers. It was all those other guys. Or have we just missed out a session of choking tonight, and you're gonna resume as usual on Sunday?
I think whoever it was that was choking, it doesn't matter. Like, if you put them with Nox, like, you just feel like warm in his embrace. Like, you can't go wrong. You just have confidence in everything. So.
Fair enough. Alright, thank you very much for watching then. This has been Team Fortress TV with Reason against nerdRage. Reason managed to pick up both of the maps here. The first one, Granary 3-0. The second one, Badlands 6-1. The playoffs are happening on Sunday the 12th. Make sure you tune in for that. That's going to be fantastic. That's Reason versus nerdRage, and then the winner versus TLR. And coming up very shortly, I'm not sure how long the delay is going to be, but pretty much instantly it's going to be fully charged with a smattering of these guys, some people from TLR and Admirable as well, so that's going to be a good one. We'll see you shortly on TFTV. Good night.